Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another couch video. Game is ancient. Game is ancient. And I got the proof in my hands. Now check this out, right? Because I see a lot of guys online talking about game. Game is wrong, game is this, trying to go at guys with game and everything. Here's the reality. The reality. Even though we use the word game, it's simply strategy for men to get women. Indeed, women have their own game. Women, trust me, they got game. If you look at a lot of ancient cultures, they had specific ways that they dealt with women, or, women dealt with men, specific ways for sex. Indeed, in many indigenous cultures, that was one of the things that happened during rites of passage. They would teach the young men and the young women specifically how to interact with the opposite sex. Indeed, in some cultures, the young women, they would be opened up by like a warrior, and the boys would be opened up by an older woman. But they were taught because cultures realized how important it was for men and women to interact. Because trust me, and we see it now, when men and women aren't interacting in a sensible way, or they don't know how, it messes up society. Because let's be real, a lot of stuff happening out here is happening because a lot, especially from some men, because they ain't getting no poo. Let's just be real with it. Let's be real. A lot of violence, a lot of craziness, and everything. So we might call it game now, but it's a strategy, how to interact, how to do stuff. Now, I said I got proof that game is ancient. Game is ancient. Here's the proof right here. The complete Kamasutra. And real quick, because you know what? It's interesting with the term. Now, I'll say Kamasutra because it was closest to, I heard someone who's an actual native Indian pronounce it. But some people call it Kamasutra. So it's like, seriously, if you go online and look for pronunciations, you'll get Kama Sutra, you'll get Kama Sutra. And the Indian pronunciation was Kama Sutra. I can't get that one quite right, but I'm not Indian. But I'm going to tell you what. Check out this book. Now, I'm going to tell you what. There was a big talk about the Kama Sutra back in the day, back in the early 90s, because that was the big thing. And they had all these picture books talking about the positions and sex positions and all of that, all these different positions. And I mean, if you go to a bookstore, you can probably find a book or two on that. And people focus on the positions. Back in the day, I read the book. It wasn't this version. It was like a more direct version, the translation by Sir Richard Burton back during the Victorian age. And it was more, when I read it back then, my understanding was more, it was just about how just simply to interact with the opposite sex in different ways. I ain't think in terms of game or anything. And that was actually deeper, had an impact on me. But I didn't keep that copy. And if after a while, you don't think about something. You might read something, but then you're like, what did they say specifically? Especially if you read a long time ago. So I got this unabridged modern translation. And this is way deeper. It goes into some stuff Burton didn't go into. See, that's the thing with the Kama Sutra. Look at what they're actually saying, because I'm going to tell you what, especially in Western culture will look at the superficial part of the sensational part. Because like I said, they were looking, people were getting into the positions and everything, but I guarantee they weren't getting anything out of it. Because if you want to get something out, I'm going to be real, and this is going on some deeper stuff, because I can get into sacred sexuality, Eastern sexuality, Tantra. It would take 7 years for somebody to fully get ready for the Kama Sutra, the positions part. Let me say that again. It would take them 7 years, because they would have to change their body. They had to clean out their body. They would have to do a lot of stuff to really get something from it. Let me just talk about just on a pure biological basis. A lot of people don't get the pleasure from sex because of stuff going on. Their bodies aren't ready. You know, they're not eating right. They not exercising. There's not a proper blood flow. It's a whole bunch of stuff. And that's just the physical part. It's also the mental part, the psychological part. A lot of people out here are simply sexually repressed. A lot of men and women are sexually repressed. When you sexually repress, you can't really get the good same feeling out of sex. You shutting down stuff. You know, indeed, that's why you have men in their 20s and 30s already with erectile dysfunction. When the reality is, if you healthy, you can be 80-year-old man, don't need a blue pill. You know, you don't need that blue pill or any enhancements or anything. And I'll just say now, shoot, even now, my joint wakes up, is at the window watching the sunrise. Then it come over and wake me up. Be like, Ron, you gotta get up, man, we gotta pee. Seriously, as a about to be 56-year-old man. So, you know, and that's just it. If you healthy, it stays in there. But the thing that I'm reading it again, checking out the Kamasutra again, right? Check out the book. Check out the book. I'll put a link in the description box. Read through it. I was like, damn, wait a minute. This is some straight up game. I mean, this is telling people how to interact. It's telling, it actually got sections on telling a man how to get another man's wife. I'm like, what? You thinking this be some righteous thing? I'm like, what? How to interact. It got a section on how women can get money out of a dude. I'm like, wait a minute, did a pimp write this? Because I know I probably thought that the first time I read it all, but I wasn't thinking at the time, we didn't have like, you know, this whole manosphere and dating coaches and all of that. In fact, I read this even before it was seemingly a business. So I wasn't even thinking about the greater impact of it. Like the only books on getting women back then, closest to it, was just the books on pimping. But there's some straight pimp stuff in here. Oh yeah, they talk about that too in here. They even mentioned the term pimp. I mean, it is just how to interact. I was like, damn, wait a minute. This book telling people how to run game. You know, and I'm just like, wow. But then you get some people now thinking there's some original stuff. It never is. It never is. Because I'm going to tell you what. Sex is always an important thing, the strategies and everything. And one big problem now is many men don't have the strategies. You know, men think, well, as long as, you know, they just think, well, I got to be super handsome and super tall and, you know, look like a model. And let's be real. If somebody is on that level, they get more attention. But you still need a strategy in how you interact. And everybody else needs to interact. 99% of other men need something. They need something. And it's deeper than just your appearance, how you interact with a woman, how you stand with a woman, how to be. That's important. Like if I'm really showing some stuff, I'll say, okay, what's your body language with that woman? When you're having a conversation with her, how you pointing? Are you pointing full chest? Because trust me, women got their game. You know, because you can lead. Like you know what? Like I always say, I can. You know, I'll be seeing like regular dudes in the street with some fine women. And people is like, that ain't happening. Maybe she used them or something. I can tell what's up because I'm looking at their body language. And that's all you really need to see. If you understand that, that's a big part of it. How you interact, when you interact, what you do. I mean, this book was telling how to effectively praise someone. You know, it was telling women how to work a man's ego. I was like, oh, shit. There's some straight pimping right here. It really was. I was like, you know. And it's just to say, you know, you got a lot of people out here who try to put it down. Try to say, oh, this and that. But, or some people even try to say it's manipulation and stuff. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. It's a strategy. It's it. That's how society has gone on. Indeed, when you got, even in societies where they arrange marriages and stuff, they even got game in that. Because there's some cultures that arrange a marriage, like two families decide their kids need to marry. They got game in that. Because I'm going to tell you what, it's like several things. One, you got some societies that get deep into astrology and stuff like that. Different cultures, especially indigenous cultures. So they'll look at the personality types of the two kids, and they'll say, you know what, they'll make a good couple. And it actually works. They understand personality types and everything. And then you get some other cultures that do it. They will actually introduce the kids to each other at about 7 years old. Might have them interact with each other. But then when they get together later, it's like a natural thing. They already know each other. Oh, they talked about that in here too. You get them, they interact and everything, and how they, that teaches a lot. But that's game. That is game. All it is a strategy. That's all it is. And see, the thing is, men had to figure that out, because I'm going to tell you what, women got theirs. Don't let these women online fool you, act like they don't know. Unless they just grew up in a situation where they didn't interact with their mom. Because usually, trust me, you get the women together, they got their thing. They got their thing. Trust me. Unless, I don't know, their moms went around, they didn't learn from them. But they learned from an early age. I remember talking with some women I knew, and they were telling me, yeah, they were learning what to do, just paying attention to how their mother used to work their father. And I was like, I've seen that a few times. And usually when a woman had trouble, the mother didn't show the door or anything. But, yeah, check this out, though. Check this out. For those who doubt game or think it's like some new shit, I ain't no new shit. Only thing is, it does have to evolve just because of different times and everything. But yeah, you got some guys, they just figured it out. Like I said, if you got that perfect look and all of that stuff, you're gonna get more attention. But even they need some game, because you gotta know how to work what you got. So you still gotta have that strategy, man. Especially men, you gotta think. You gotta think how you gonna work it. I don't care who you are, really. So I'd say 99% needed, actually 100%. Ain't no guys that just, because even a guy who got that attractiveness that women naturally like throw it at him, he still got to know how to work it. You still got to know how to manage it. You got to learn how, it's a different type of game than the average person, but you still got to know how to manage how you dealing with these women. And one of the things is, in this culture, we don't have a rites of passage. We don't have a rites of passage, because we actually do. That should be something actually toward if not in a school, maybe in spiritual communities or something, or just something after school. Seriously, because a lot of guys out here just trying to figure it out, and it's causing a lot of issues. Now imagine, like I say, what I would say, the guys who get it the most, if they had a father or uncle or somebody like that who was a serious player or something, and they pay attention to them, that helps them. That helps them, because then the person can teach them step by step. Like my sons, like I know, like my youngest son, it was a cutie. He was interested in. They texted a few times, but she wasn't texting back. So I had to break it down to him. I said, "Look, this is what it is. Don't worry about it. Don't text her back till she texts you." And he picked up on that. Boom. So it's like you teach him. So I probably saved him as a 16-year-old some trouble that some 30-year-olds are going through, 30 and 40-year-olds going there. Because he picked it. What's one thing about him? He listened. And when I tell them, hey, you need to wear this, or you need to wear something like this, you need to have this style, boom. They getting at 16 what some 50-year-olds don't have. So, anyway. Very important. So check it out. A link for the Kamasutra, or if you want to use the other pronunciation, Kamasutra, or the Kamasutra. It's in the description box. So, and yeah, I know somebody say, I can be into a car video. Yeah, imagine me driving, trying to show this and stuff. I'll be like, wait, that's right. I'd be leaning to the sides and like, yeah, like this. All of a sudden you hear, crash! Then you wouldn't see the video because I wouldn't show myself crash. It's like, I haven't got in a, damn, when's the last time I got in a car accident where I crashed? Shit, you gotta go back to 1990. Looking at that ass walking down the street. Anyway, I was like, damn, bam. So anyway, y'all, I'll get back with you later. All right, peace and blessings.